Do you struggle with motivating yourself? Are there things you know you should be doing, could be doing for yourself to improve your life and the life of those around you, whether it's your professional life, your spiritual life, your relationship life, your health and diet life? You just can't be bothered to do it. Well, I'm here right now to motivate you. Let's say when I watch something like Jocko Willink, you know Jocko Willink, Navy SEAL, who's been a guest on my podcast, Under the Skin, amazing human being. Or if you watch someone like Dave Goggins, also former Navy SEAL, or Tony Robbins, you know, sort of billionaire, successful guy, spiritual powerhouse. Like when you watch these men, you know, and I suppose in my experience it is mostly men, maybe that's because of my own biases, obviously it would be, but like, I think, oh, they're not like me, because I don't ever imagine Dave Goggins, former Navy SEAL, going, oh, I can't be bothered. But the truth is actually he was, like by his own telling, a pretty obese guy. I've never heard Jocko Willink say anything other than he was a bit wayward as a kid. He seems like someone that's got fire in him. Me though, I'm a person that can very easily, as a former heroin addict and, you know, massive weed smoker before that, and drinker, and like, you know, person who likes pornography, I find it really easy to just sort of settle into some slothful malaise, some inner sludge, some barely peelable off the floorable morass of a man, you know, like it can be hard for me. And do you know, for me, everything starts with spirituality, because your spirituality is your mental well-being. It's just a different word for your mental well-being. Even then I made myself sit up straight because I thought you're slouching. Here's a couple of little quotes around the subject. It always seems impossible until it's done. That's none other than Nelson Mandela right there, a man who sat 27 years in a cell before becoming the president of a newly formed, or revitalised at least, nation. Today's accomplishments were yesterday's impossibilities, says Robert H. Schuller. Or, never do tomorrow what you can do today. Procrastination is the thief of time. Old Charlie Dickens, the English writer, grew up in the workhouse, created a novel or two. See, for me then, I start with a few very basic things. Prayer, meditation, that's got to be a part of my life, that I have to connect with the resources within myself. To change yourself at all, you have to have a degree of faith and hope. You have to believe in the possibility of change. Even before we investigate the possibility of change, you have to acknowledge there's a problem. Say for me, before I decided I wanted to lose a lot of weight. Now, I'm always careful around stuff like that, because there's a lot of you, diet and all of that's been problematic, and there'll be a lot of you that have had eating disorders. And so I'm not saying to you, if you're happy with how you are, you be happy with how you are. I personally wasn't happy with how I was. Whether that's as a result of cultural influence or not, how can I ever know? Because my mind is looped into a culture that tells me this is what a man's supposed to be like, this is what a body's supposed to be look like. So it would be highly unlikely that my beliefs about myself are separate from my culture. Nevertheless, I wanted to start changing my body. So I had to change the way I was exercising, change the way I was eating. And it's hard because I've gotten into the habit of eating sugary things late at night, eating a lot of bread. So to make that change, I had to declare myself to a few other people. I had to make a little plan. I had to let myself, like my family, know that, listen, I'm going to be making this change. This affected my moods. It's changed a lot of things. But like when it was drugs and alcohol, I did the same thing. I was lucky. People swooped in and helped me, but I put myself around other people who wanted the same things. I took it one day at a time. There are lots of techniques for motivation. You know, like you have to, I think, rely on these kind of metaphors that seem almost cliched, like a fire starting with a spark, like a civilization starting with an idea, like evolution starting with whatever precedes a singular cell, you know, the Big Bang starting who knows where. Energy transforms and changes all the time. We have access to natural forces that we deny because we live within the lines laying out before us by a culture. And I think it would be a pity if you used motivational tools to do nothing other than self-betterment. See, me now, even with the getting fit or various things I do, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I have to think, Russell, your self-betterment cannot only be about self-gratification. It can't be enlightenment for the self. It has to be, how are you going to be of service to other people? The first thing you have to do, we acknowledge there's a problem. I don't want my life to be like this anymore. The second thing we have to do is believe it's possible to change. The third thing we have to do is ask for help from people with more experience than us and become a member of a community where the kind of change we're aspiring to is considered normal. So you've got community support. The minute you have energy outside of yourself that is advantageous to your new endeavor, you've already improved your situation. If other people are trying to get fit in the same way as you, or build something in the same way as you, or whether it's activism, whatever it is you need to be motivated to do, you need support and love. It's a lonely thing to pursue a goal in solitude, necessarily, almost by definition. From that point onward, I practice most of the things in my life with a healthy amount of self-forgiveness. I don't push myself to, I don't treat myself bad. Like some of the people that are mentors of mine, they talk to themselves in a, we're gonna do this type way. Like everything's gotta be climbing an assault course with barbed wire and electrodes in a tank of cold water. Even though I do things like cold therapy and meditation and prayer and breathing exercises and all that stuff, in a way, at heart, I'm still a little only child, overweight, mummy's boy, single parent family out there in the wastelands of greys without access to resources. And I still sort of feel that person, and I have to be compassionate to the person that I've been. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to become Darth Vader in total denial of Anakin. I still know that everything in me comes from a place of vulnerability. That's why I'm not really willing to judge other people or condemn other people who don't want to live the same way I want to live, or don't see the world the same way as I see the world. All I'm saying is, if you want to change something in your life, whether that's your health, your financial situation, your romantic situation, it is possible. You need only look at me. Were it not for the kindness of other people and the intervention of a brilliant program, which I'm willing to share with anybody, which I have shared elsewhere, which anyone can get for free, I'd be either wherever anyone is, having been addicted to crack and heroin for 20 years, which is not a good place. Either you're dead or you're in prison or whatever. Or I'd be in some sort of destitution, some sort of dereliction. And God knows there's enough people that live like that. And I don't feel like I'm that different from them. Other principles that might boost you along the path are gratitude for the things you do have, acceptance of reality where it is right now, faith that your world can change, and a willingness to be honest with yourself. If all you're looking for is more pleasure, more gratification, why should the forces of the universe come to your aid? Why should the dormant hormonal and neurological systems that are latent in your body right now, that are waiting to be awoken, that can be stirred through respiratory techniques, that can be stirred through meditation and prayer, why should they come to your aid if your sole goal really is to further garment, augment, ornament the self? Why would they? So find your way to eternal principles. That's the answer ultimately. All things must be undertaken from a spiritual perspective. I hope you found this video motivational and helpful and realistic, but if you didn't, let me know in the comments. Give it a little like, a little thumbs up, give it a subscribe. Subscribe to my Awakening channel so that I don't spend all my time just talking about politics. I want to do this spiritual stuff with you as well. It's vital to me, and I know it's vital to you too. Hey, you should subscribe to my mailing list at russellbrand.com. It's just one click away. You can just click on it here and you'll get a weekly bulletin telling you what I'm up to, what I believe in, what I care about, and what I'm doing next. If you enjoyed this video, give this one a little look. And if you want to meditate now, here's a video of a little meditation in it that you might, I hope, enjoy. Thank you very much for watching me. See you on the path. Take care.